Don't feel free to exercise your wickedness everywhere. We did not make civilization on these other planets wicked like you.
That's right.
Don't try to visit them.
Yes, sir.
They don't know anything about your way of life.
Right.
I will hide them from you, and I will bring you to your doom.
Yes, sir.
You shall not know them. They don't belong to you. Their wisdom is not of you. You would like to get over and find whether or not that they're able to make war with you. You want to start trouble. But the distance is too far. Distance is too far. You won't be able to learn their language. We know it, but you shall not know how to contact them.
Right.
We have 7 inhabited planets. We have 9 planets with life on it. You don't know that. You just learn to study and try out astronomy. Just less than 500 years ago. So what do you know about what's going on in worlds that is from 36 million miles to that of 4,600,000,000 miles from the sun?
All right, we forward again, and this is Field Trip to Saturn. All you people been waiting on it, and now it's about to drop, right? So, in the famous words of Sai Baba, let's dance. So we taking you over to Saturn, which is called Saturn by the Earthmen, right? But we call it Anshar, right? Which is an ancient planet, right? Which was our home a long time ago before the war, versus the Reptilian. About to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you that a lot of planets, right, only have 1 or 2 species, right? Very few planets with a lot of species like your planet and Venus and Mars, right? Because they're in the inside, right? The outside planets have lesser species and they're vibrating on a higher density, right? Such as Saturn. So Saturn, or Anshar, is the 6th planet in our solar system, right? The 6th planet from the sun, right? It's the 2nd largest planet in the solar system, right? After Jupiter. We talked about Jupiter last week. Jupiter is the biggest planet, right? Saturn is 890 million miles from the sun, right? And as Saturn in the rotation, it is closest to Earth, comes about 746 million miles away, right? So we're gonna be leaving at that time, right? At its farthest is 983 million miles from Earth. Saturn has a circumference of 235,298 miles. Its diameter is 74,897. That's almost 9 times the size of Earth. Saturn orbits around the sun once every 29.4 Earth years. So 1 year on Saturn is 29 years, okay? Saturn travels at the average speed of 21,637 miles per hour, right? Saturn spins on its axis once, right, every 10.5 Earth hours. So 1 day on Saturn is 10.5 Earth hours. So you know, because like I told you, Jupiter and Saturn is spinning kind of fast because they're vibrating on a higher speed, a higher density, right? A higher level of higher vibration, 5th density, right? About to get into all that. So the natives on Jupiter they don't move on time like we do because they're on a higher density or a higher dimension, right? So between Jupiter and Saturn, Neptune and Uranus, right, they're on a higher density, so they don't break time down as the inside planets would, okay? So we don't break time like, you know, like we have hours, you know, we have minutes. They don't break it down like that because they don't have that type of, they're evoluted past it, okay? So let's get into it, right? So Saturn's atmosphere is about 75% hydrogen, 24% helium, and 1% trace of substance like methane and water like ice, right? So these are hydrogen beams. Once you go to a higher vibration, you go into the hydrogen beams. But the hydrogen also breaks down into 3 parts, right? So, and NASA also seems to think that Saturn is just a big ball of gas because, like I said, they only can look at the gas, which is the 3rd dimension. Solid, liquid, gas is the, you know, solid, liquid, gas, person, place, and thing. They only can look into the third dimension. That's the highest they can go. They can't look into the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. So they will not be able to see. So they say that Saturn is just a big ball of gas, right? Because they don't see the vibrations of the beings who are vibrating on a higher speed, right? But we're about to blow their bubble, right? They're just babies trying out of astronomy. Just like Elijah Muhammad said. Saturn's atmosphere is kind of similar to Jupiter, but more or less interesting to look at from the distance. Check this out. Saturn is one of the most windiest planets, or the windiest places in the whole solar system, right? The wind speeds can reach up to 1,200 miles per hour, right, at the equator. Saturn has 69 moons, which were for sale, but now they've been converted into these domes and home stations for different beings who come into school, because Saturn is a school, right? It's a 5th through 7th dimensional school, kind of like 6th through 7th grade, you know what I'm saying? Like 6th through 8th grade or whatever, but it's really 6th through 7th grade, like middle school, you know what I'm saying? This right here is, you in elementary now, right? You in elementary, then you go to like a middle area, gray area, which is the 4th grade. Then you go to 5th, 6th, and 7th, which is put together between Jupiter and Saturn, right? These schools, right? So there are many different beings from around the galaxy that are going to school, which we consider as a college level. Saturn is a college, you know what I'm saying? It'd be considered as a college where beings come from all over the galaxy to get educated on this certain type of technologies and different levels of dimensions and all this, right? So these 69 moons, like we say, Saturn used to be, we converted into a factory where we built planets. We built planets, and we modeled these planets and we sold them, right? We sold these planets and then actually had them towed to wherever you wanted to have them towed to. Before the Reptilians, at this time, there was no ring around Saturn at the time. We had hundreds of moons. Well, during the war, some of these moons were blew up, or some of these planets that we would have for sale, because we manufactured planets. Some of these planets we had for sale were blew up during the war, and they were trapped inside of the gravitational pull of Saturn, right? Causing this ring around Saturn. The ring is a lot of small particles and ice and water and different minerals, right? Because there are beings who go to pull minerals out of the rings of Saturn, right? You can go get gold out of the rings of Saturn. You can go get water out of the rings of Saturn, different minerals. Because when we design these planets were living organisms, right? Because we design these planets, they live in organisms, and they were generating their own particular minerals. So when you bought a planet, you got a planet that was a living organism. You ain't just getting you gotta understand the level of information that we're dealing with here. You know what I'm saying? When this planet would blow up, some of these big chunks are still nice size. So they have set up buildings and intake schools or intakes in the ring, right? So you can be taken to these rings, these meteorite within the ring, and this is what they do intake it, right? Saturn is tilted at 27 degrees on its axis. Its rings is tilted also at 27 degrees. Saturn rings is 175,000 in diameter. The thin 3 layers of rings around Saturn's acts as a reflector. It reflects the sunlight, causing Saturn to have no nights, only days. When arriving in Saturn's airspace, we must await a Saturnary starfighter to take us to the rings, to an asteroid that has a gray building on it, right? This building is intake and what you would call custom. You'll search this and that, so and so, right? You must go here before you can enter into Saturn. This could take days waiting, because you have to go through some light, gravity, and if you are from a lower dimension, some higher dimension adjustment. Right? The messenger will come from the surface to let us know that our passport or visa has been granted. Saturn is a 5th to 7th dimensional planet, so the colors and the light is more intense. Once you are vibrating on 5th to 7th density, it will become just as physical as 3rd density. Going to Saturn without having these light adjustments could cause you to have a 5th dimensional blindness. Right? From the surface of Saturn, the sun appears much larger than on Earth. This is because at a higher frequency level, the light not only travels fast, but also shines greater in intensity, right? When you're in a higher dimension, our sun is a 9th dimensional sun. That means it vibrates from 1 all the way to 9. in different levels, different vibration levels. The sun is vibrating at a more intense level. So the very light of the sun is determined by the frequency level, right? At which we view it from the earth, right? But we were viewing it from a third dimensional level. That's why they tell you that the sun is cranking up now. The sun is getting hotter, right? Because we're starting to, our vibration is starting to pick up. We're starting to vibrate into the fourth density now and the fifth density, right? And when we start to do that, right, the sun becomes hotter. It becomes more intense. Because I told you, when you take molecules and you heat them up and you speed them up, you take a solid and you heat it up, it becomes solid, then liquid, then the gas, then you keep heating it up and keep speeding it up till, it becomes rapid speed. You know what I'm saying? So what we're saying is, when you heat things up in a fifth dimensional world, in a sixth, seventh dimensional world, the sun is way more hotter and way more intense, way more brighter. There are more colors, right? There's more megahertz of colors that are brought forth, right? I think we have over 10 million different shades of color here on Earth. But on Saturn, they have over 200 million shades of color. So, you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with a high level. They are type 1 to type 2 civilization. Really a type 2 civilization. Where they live off the sun. They live off gravity on their planet. They live off just about all of the resources they can. Okay, we're about to get into that. On Saturn, right, they have an extra 200 million colors, which we told you about, right? In a three-dimensional world, right, you have three primary colors, which is red, blue, and yellow, right? And you have three basic colors, which is white, gray, and black, right? A mixture, a combination of these colors, you can get up to 10 million different shades, right? But like we say, on Saturn, they have over 200 million different shades of color. Like we said, Saturn got 69 moons, but these moons, right, it used to be hundreds of them, because this Saturn used to be a planet factory where we created these planets and solar around the galaxy, right? We have now relocated this factory to Sirius, right, where we clone Saturn, because Saturn is a quite remarkable planet. So we really made a mega clone of Saturn and moved it to Sirius, right? And what we're doing is we set up a factory there where we make the planets there now. You can go to Sirius and buy you a planet and take it and park it whatever you want, you know what I'm saying, wherever you purchase your space from certain extraterrestrials who might lay claim to that space. You know what I'm saying? You can purchase that space from them, put your planet there. Depends on how you want to do it, Like we say, several of these moons are warships to guard Saturn incoming unwanted activity. And most of these moons are now dorm rooms that have been converted to certain types of habitat to suit certain type of beings from around the galaxy who are there going to school. So, so it's like a dorm room. It's like a habitat to where they can go to and they'll be comfortable, like a home away from home. So they set it up like that. It's like a dorm room, like for, certain beings, right? So they might have a planet that's covered with water. Might have certain beings there doing the school, right? So this is what's going down, Pretty much Saturn is an educational planet to educate the galaxy in certain levels of the sixth, and seventh, and fifth dimensions, okay? Also, several other beings have their motherships parked outside of Saturn, and they're there, right, going to school. And some of them there as teachers. Some of the beings there of the higher dimensions are there as teachers to escort the students in this college educational system of pretty much is what I'm giving you right now. I'm giving you like an introduction on the galaxy, getting you ready, getting you prepared to deal with this type of information. So, but they're in Saturn, they got their motherships parked outside of Saturn. So the government have took pictures of some of these ships, right? And some of them they can't see because they're fifth and sixth dimensional ships, and their technology don't look that high yet, okay? It has ranges, luscious river valleys, freshwater lakes, waterfalls, huge rainforests covering the land. It has huge blue oceans and seas. The natives on Saturn are about 200,000 years ahead of Earth for technology. The natives take good care of their planet. It is very clean. They don't put trash on the ground. They don't throw trash out their window or nothing like that, right? They got like a special, they put their trash in a trash thing that recycles. They pretty much it's amazing, this technology. They throw it in a would-be trash can, and the trash can actually breaks the composites down and sends them through a tube and they reformatted it again to resell it again and re-put it on the shelves again. So it's kind kind of hard to explain, right? Their waste is converted and used to energy, right? Saturn was one of the first worlds to develop the ship with capability of interplanetary travel in the solar system, right? Because we were the first people that set that up, right? We've been doing that, right? They live in advanced cities made out of gold and other high value metals and advanced technologies, right? They build these towers, right, which grow like golden trees up to 20 miles high, right? To take up less space on the ground as possible. They build up instead of out. You know what I'm saying? They build up because it's a lot of people. It's about 20 times the amount of people on Saturn, right? So they take up less space as possible. And the fifth density, once they go to the fourth density, they create more space. So it's kind of hard to, it's like real deep to explain, right? I'm just trying to get you the basics. So they live in these advanced cities that grow like trees, but they made of like gold and other kind of minerals, right? These towers are biologically engineered living organisms like trees, like we told you, baby. You know what I'm saying? They are designed to radiate happiness and well-being to all people in and around them, right? They have no need for roads on the surface. They have 3 forms of methods of traveling on Saturn. They had the teleportation stations, like I told you today, like I told you about on Jupiter, right? Because Jupiter got their technology from Saturn, right? So they had the teleportation stations, which is the old stuff, which is only used by certain beings, right? That visit there that don't have the capabilities that the other beings have, right? So this type of technology, the teleportation station, is old technology. They also have telekinetic anti-gravity backpacks that they can use to fly around. They fly around with these anti-kinetic backpacks. They can go on renting a bike or something. You go and you get this backpack, you strap it on, you can fly pretty much wherever you want on the planet. And it creates a force field around you, and you can fly based on your mind or whatever, right? But now the royal natives, the beings who have passed the schools, they don't need this technology. They can fly like Superman. These advanced level trees produce these colored pebbles. These pebbles are put into an advanced microwave type machine. The screen on the machine is like a hologramic computer, telekinetic. Man, it's controlled by mind, or you can do it by voice activated. If you say hamburger or pizza, the machine turns the pebble into whatever you say, and it tastes just like it, right? But it's like you eating a whole bunch of vegetables. It's like you eating vegan food that got turned into pizza or something, and it tastes like pepperoni and all this, but it's really vegan and vegetable type food that came off this tree, right? So it's way healthy. So it ain't like you eating some junk food that you say you want a bag, you can turn it into a bag of chips, but it tastes like chip, but at the same time it ain't nothing but vegetables. This is the remarkable technology that's next level out of this world stuff, right? This machine also can take water and turn it to anything you want to drink. You'll be drinking water, but it'll taste like whatever you think you wanted to drink, right? For clothes, they have a machine full of thousands of different types of fabrics and rubber and different types of metals. They just step into this booth-like closet, then the machine showers them, powders them, right, and spray cologne or whatever on them, right? Then they can telekinesis or voice activate the machine to dress them in whatever they want. If they say, I want to dress like Michael Jackson from the Thriller, or like President Obama, the machine reclones the suit or outfit and puts it on them. It can make whatever outfit you can think of, with jewelry, hat, and shoes, and everything, right? Once they wear the outfit one time or whatever, when they wear the outfit, they just walk back into the closet, say computer activate, say pajamas. The computer takes whatever they got on, showers them, powder them up, get them ready for bedtime, and put them pajamas on. And it breaks down the outfit that they wore that day and put it back, and put the fabrics, recycle the fabrics back into the system. Man, this is remarkable technology that's going on Saturn. You know what I'm saying? So this is how they, their life is very advanced. You know, it's almost the same because water is 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Saturn is a 5th to 7th dimensional planet. To visit this planet, you must have a passport or visa, right? A 5th dimensional to 7th dimensional passport or visa. You must have a guide with you at all times. The natives of Saturn look like humans, but they are 7 feet tall, with greenish to dark skin, with woolly to gray hair. Their eyes and head are much larger than humans on Earth. right? They have supernatural powers such as flying, moving things with telekinetic or telepathic energy, right? Or mind power. They can predict the future. Most of the natives teach on Saturn at these 5th to 7th dimensional schools. They are agreeable and they try to avoid trouble at all costs. They have the ability to use their higher senses. They have 72 higher senses and they can live about 1,500 years of their time, which is 43,500 years of Earth time. So they can live to be 43,500 years of Earth time, right? They are telepathic and can see and hear extremely well and see extremely far. Master, there are many other races on Saturn, right? Some of them there are teachers, right? And some of them there are students. Some of the teachers are coming from Andromedans, such as the blue Andromedans, the spiritual beings who vibrate on the 5th and 6th, 7th density. You got the Behavians there. The Behavians range in different colors. The Behavians, females, skin tone is a gray, white, and the male complex is a yellow, brownish, or golden. The skin colors also change in time. The Behavians are 3 to 4 feet tall. Their eyes are large or no eyelid, right? The male's eyes are a light to deep gold color, while the female eyes are blue. The shade of their eyes tend to change depth, right? These beings, the Behavians, who are peaceful beings, who are there as teachers, right? They came from 450 light years away, right? In the Taurus star constellation, right? Together with 6 other races. So there are 6 different races, other races that came with the Behavians that came here to the college to teach, right? They have 200-mile diamond-shaped motherships parked outside of Saturn, right? The males can get a little bit taller than the females. They get about 4 foot tall, right? So there's a lot of different beings there. You got the, like I said, the blue people from Andromedans, right? You got the Arcadians there. The Arcadians are there from so you know, different races there as a college school, school beings around the galaxy in the 4th and 5th who are just converted into the 5th and 6th and 7th dimensions, right? To get them educated and how it works and, you know, see if they're worthy to go to that level. Because you got to go past certain tests before they allow you to go to a certain dimension, because we don't want to invite you to a certain dimension and you're a certain type of being that we don't allow in that particular dimension, okay? Another race of beings on Saturn is the reptilian humanoids, right? The bad guy, right? The Dragon Man, right? From the planet Titan, right? Who tried to take over Saturn and enslave the natives, right? In the 5th and 6th density. They couldn't enslave the beings, the raw natives who was in the 7th dimension, because these beings, these humanoid reptilian beings, can only vibrate to the 6th, right? They were created by a being named Mother Hoover, who was a chief scientist to the old Anu, who was the Anu now, the Earthmen now father, whose name was Anshar, who the planet Saturn is named after, right? These reptilians were drafted out of the bird being, right, by Mother Hoover, who then crossbred the reptilians back in with the birds, creating a flying serpent Draco type being. These beings can range in between 7 foot to 25 feet tall. They can weigh as much as 200 up into 1.3 tons, right? The original Dragon beings. But these humanoid beings, the ones that live on Saturn, right? These beings made a moon of Saturn called Titan their home base before moving to Draco's star system. Mother Hoover then mixed her DNA, because Mother Hoover was from the Ammon squad, right? With the Ammon Rod squad, right? Mother Hoover was part of our clan, and she was a chief scientist, but she wanted to turn against. She found out she could create these beings to counteract these insects who we had got into a war with in Pegasus, right? So she created these reptilian style beings with sharp teeth to counteract these beings. Later on down the line, mixing her DNA with these beings, causing these beings to be dragons but look humanoids. You see what I'm saying? So they were humanoid, dragon looking beings. These beings had to take over Saturn on behalf of their mother Hoover, right, who mixed their DNA, right? So they look like the Saturn natives, but they had reptilian nature, right? These beings set up their home also in the Dragon star system, which is a little bit above Orion, right? The ruling class have left the planet Saturn, but some of the natives mixed their seed with these beings, and some of these beings were raped, right? So they got hybrid children, these hybrid fifth and sixth dimensional dragon beings who are hybrids mixed with the natives who are there still trying to cause problems, right? But these beings are not permitted to the seventh dimension, which is entered through the hexagon at the top of Saturn, and considered Saturn as his home planet because Titan, these beings were created by Mother Hubert, who is their mother, right? Mother Hubert is running the show, right? So this is why they are so attracted to Saturn, right? That's why they created companies like Toyota, right? Toyota is a part of Saturn. It's a symbol for Saturn. Bud Light, right? Dish TV, right? Saturn, they even made a car called Saturn. And these different companies that all take out the Saturn because they are worshiping Saturn. These religious companies who say they would talk about Jesus, but they really worshiping Saturn, right? These internet companies, right? Nike, right? Boeing, right? Who make the airplane? They know this technology already existed before on Saturn, right? So they say Saturn as in Saturday or as in Satan, right? Because they know that Satan was invented or created, right, up on Saturn, on Titan, on the moon Titan. They know this, right? So they worship Saturn, and they're trying to get back to Saturn, which they won't be able to make it, right? They won't be able to make it. They can't make it back to Saturn, right? So this is what's going on. We want to just bring y'all in on what's going on Saturn, right? We'll be going to Neptune next, you know, and we're just doing our thing, you know. It's a young elder, and we got more information coming, man. We got plenty tape to drop. Sorry for the delay. My phone got jacked at the gas station by the adjustment bureau, right? Because it was a black dude with glasses on and a black suit and a Toyota Camry with government plates. All of a sudden, my phone, he got my phone. Somebody said they saw the dude get my phone out of my car while I was paying for my gas. So, you know, I'm being attacked. Somebody's trying to stop me from putting these classes out. I don't know if it's the government classes that I'm putting out or if it's the extraterrestrial classes. I don't know. But these beings stole my phone, so sorry for the delay. We're going to be putting one out every week for y'all. We're going to try to put one out every 3 or 4 days, right? Try to keep up, you know, keep y'all up to point, right? So this is the Young Elder signing out. Shout it out. We love you all. And we're going to win this war. Why? Because we can dance and they can't. Good night.